So let's go and get this mounted up here. That is like perfect. I mean, it's right in front of my face. Like right in front of my face. From the front, it looks like it's just floating. Finally, I am back out in the garage and we're working on my E92 today. I got something wicked cool to install. Let's get right into what we're doing today. I got a AEM display for my drift car. Actually, if you look really close, this is actually forged carbon on the outside of this. There's some type of weird carbon weave, but it is actually carbon. The whole thing's waterproof, which I really like. Yeah, you got this shift light, a couple buttons. And the buttons, I don't know what it is, the buttons have a super satisfying feel, like a very satisfying click. So let's go and get this mounted up here. My car is not CAN bus, so that's why I have the CAN bus to serial adapter. You basically plug all of your sensors into that adapter and then run the CAN bus line up to the display. I also have GPS, so there's a GPS antenna that comes with it. And we have a USB on the back so that we can like load the pages and change settings and things on the computer, so we'll get into that a little later. I gotta find a way to mount the display here somehow. So this guy, he's got 4 rubberized mounting tabs on the back, so those little screws have these little rubber posts. We gotta make a mount for this to sit on this. This is what I came up with for the mount. So I cut this first plate out here over at Night Owl. Night Owl cut it out for me on their plasma table. And then I actually made these tabs by hand, and Night Owl welded them to the plate that I made. 1/4-inch bolt. It's really tight. I don't think it's gonna be bouncing around anywhere. Really tight. I got it mounted up there. Honestly, I don't think this is the prettiest bracket in the world, but I think it's gonna work just fine. It looks okay. Maybe I'll paint it black. That is like perfect. I mean, it's right in front of my face. Like right in front of my face. I can see everything, nothing's blocked. I could even raise it up a little since it's only really on one bolt there. I figured now is the perfect time to utilize my quick release dashboard. This is pretty cool. You just take this plug here that they give you, and they give you a bunch of extra wires and pins. So you pin the inputs depending on what sensors you want to run. You run all those inputs out through this connector, and then this is what outputs to the dashboard. So you just plug this in. Maybe we can get it into that box over there. You know, most things are hidden in this box over here. Got a couple grommets here. Gonna put a grommet in this hole. I expect to have to run some other wires through this hole too, so it doesn't really have to be completely form-fitting, but should be pretty tight. So got the CAN bus mounted here. I put a couple cushion clamps in. So this one's ridiculously big because the ECU wiring will also be going through here. Got one up here. Also, ECU wiring will be going through here. But then the ECU wiring is going to go to a motorsport spec connector probably over there somewhere. So this one's just a 1/2-inch one. I just suspect there's going to be a few more wires going through this area here. As soon as you have the whole AEM net hooked up, it's literally just these 2 wires. You connect this to a switch or connect it to the battery, and the display turns on. In the E36, I had kind of all analog gauges in a gauge cluster in my dashboard. Behind the gauges, it was a complete mess. I mean, there were wires everywhere. I had signal wires and ground wires and 12 volt and switched wires. I had wires all over the place behind my dashboard in the E36. Didn't like it. Look at how clean the wiring behind the AEM display is, because there's just a couple CAN bus inputs. There's only like, I don't know, 6 or 8 wires that run to the back of this thing. Check it out. You can barely see them. I kind of hid them in there, but we got the GPS antenna wire here, and if we look real close, we can actually see the wires coming out of the plug here, and they come down here and they run underneath here and behind my dash bars. So you can hardly notice it. I mean, everything's exposed. I don't actually have most of a dashboard, right? I have nowhere to mount anything. Everything's exposed, and I'm pretty proud and happy with what it looks like, especially from the side. From the front, it looks like it's just floating. My electrical system's not done at all. In fact, this is the first thing I've done in the electrical system. Looks like it's from a Group B rally car from the 80s, but it is kind of a center console mounted switch panel, and I intend to run all the power to this and then out to that. So this guy will be on the ignition switch, so it turns on when I start. Okay guys, I'm sitting here in the driver's seat, And I'm gonna go over to the AEM-Design 2 software. Really easy, just download it off their website. Okay, so we got a bunch of different screens here, and actually this data logger up here can hold 7 screens, and we have like kind of 4 different options, and then we kind of have a alarm screen, a splash screen, which I think is the startup screen, and an on change screen. So I'm gonna have to look into what an on change screen is, but the first thing we want to do is upload a single screen. So let's see what we can do here. And if we go back to the screens, you can see screen 1 is located with that one I picked. And let's pick an alarm screen real quick just to see what that looks like too. So that'll be our alarm screen. So let's do a splash screen. So this will be our splash screen. This is kind of what comes on startup. Super nice that they already have like a library for you, because I did not want to spend like a bunch of time messing with this today. So, oh, that's cool. Look at TPS. So this just has like all the pressures or all the values for your inputs. So if you have a coolant temperature, map PSI, fuel PSI, oil PSI, but you can customize these and make all the values different. Your splash screen could be a picture of your car. Maybe that's what I'll do when this car is finished. So far, this has been such a breeze. Everything just plugs in. Just to prove to you guys that those 2 wires are really all you need to turn this thing on. Just hook it up to switch power. Let me show you. All right, let's see if this thing turns on. There we go. It's on. I haven't uploaded anything to it though, so it's just a blank screen, but it works. So guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like content like this. Hit the like button if you like this video. Leave a comment if you got something to say or have a question. And thanks so much for watching.